This is August 14th, 2002. My name is George Gardner. We are about to record an oral history with William F. Kennedy at his home in Carlisle. He has given his approval to make this recording. This interview is part of a series of oral history interviews being conducted by Carolyn Osborn for the benefit of researchers who visit the Hamilton Library. The objective is to record as accurately as possible, through the memories of residents who have been active in the community, a history of the times during which they have participated in those activities. Welcome, Bill, and thank you for agreeing to participate in our series. I will now turn the session over to Carolyn, who will begin the interview with you.
Bill, it's delightful to be here, and we thank you for letting us come and record all the wonderful memories that you have. And I think we might start with your earliest memories and your family here in Carlisle.
Well, my earliest memories is first I was born in Hagerstown, Maryland. And I had two brothers. Carl was 80 or 24 when he died. And then I was the next. And my other brother he and his wife were killed in 1978 by a speeding motorist.
And your parents?
My parents was Margaret M. Kennedy. That's as far back as I can go.
And when did you come to Carlisle?
I don't remember. I was 5.
You were 5?
Yes.
And where did you live in Carlisle?
24 East South Street.
And that's where you grew up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And did you go to the local schools?
Graduated from high school in 1938. And I played in the Moose Band.
Was that a school band?
No. That was a
local band?
Local, yeah. And the New Cumberland band as another local band.
And what instrument did you play?
Clarinet.
And had you taken lessons from someone?
No lessons.
Just in school?
Mm-hmm. In 1942, I was married, and we had 3 children. Tom was born in December of 1947. David was born in August 1st, 1980, and Susan October the 1st, 1981.
And where were you living at the time? when you first married and when the children started arriving?
Right here.
On 30G Street?
Yes.
Wonderful.
And the Sentinel, I was
When did you start work at the Sentinel?
1942.
And what was your position?
Well, I was in the office, and that didn't last very long. And then I went to the
Another job with the Sentinel?
yes, I went to the
Was that when you started typesetting?
no, that was in the commercial printing department, and then I wanted to learn typesetting, so I went back in the evenings and I did my I learned to typeset, and then
How long had the Sentinel been going when you became an employee? Had it been going for quite a while?
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who were
That
the
was under
owners then?
the owners were the Thompsons, and well, then it was sold to
A local person, or would another newspaper company?
Another newspaper company.
From out of state?
Yeah. From that was Howard Publications. And
When did the Evening Sentinel become the Sentinel?
around the time that it was bought after.
By the Thompsons?
Yeah, no, it was bought from Howard Publications.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was, well, we got a new publisher, Wayne Powell, who was, and I was,
Were you doing typesetting then?
yeah, I was doing a little bit of everything then. And, well, I was made foreman at that time.
In the press room?
No, of the everything else but the press room. And we went to
We can like to start with your co-workers, the people you came to know who were working at the newspaper with you. What would be the easiest for you? Or just any stories or memories that you have of working at the Sentinel that bear on events in Carlisle. Things that stick in your memory as being quite an issue of the day.
Well, I remember the president being shot, and that was
This was President Kennedy?
yes, and also also
And those were big stories at the paper,
oh, yes.
weren't they?
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember some of your co-workers? We were talking about Mr. Morton.
Morton.
And some of the people that worked with Wayne Powell, and people in the editorial section.
Remember them.
What are your most? What are the memories you do have of working at the Sentinel? It was a local paper, and I'm sure you had lots of interesting events that took place here in town that maybe you could recall.
No.
Well, why don't we go on to the band? You want to try the band? When it was started and where you practiced and who some of the members were?
Okay.
We'll go on to the band. When did you join the band?
I joined in 1937. I played 50 years with them, better than 50 years. And
when was the band formed?
It was formed in 1900.
And who was the conductor of the band when you first joined? Do you recall?
That would be Lloyd Bender was the director then.
And he was a local boy?
He was local. He was a sheriff
of Carlisle.
Of Carlisle.
And where did you meet for your band practices?
We met in the alley back of the Hamilton School building. Was it was
was it a part of the school?
It was part of the school district.
Was it the school band room?
No.
How many How many were in the band at that time when you joined?
Oh, must have been 50, like something like that.
And what night did you practice?
Monday nights.
What, from 7 to 9 or 7 to 10?
Yeah, 7 to 9. And then it went from 7:30. That's about all of the band that I can recall.
When did you have concerts? How often did you do a concert for?
Oh, we did concerts at the homes. Well, different places around town. Some of them would be at the homes, and others would be at the school districts, school party.
And you mentioned you played the clarinet, but you also played a different type of clarinet? Did you mentioned to me?
I played a bass clarinet, and that was in later years.
And does your son play the clarinet? Did you tell me?
Yes, he does.
Is he a member of the band?
No. Well, yes, he was. He's out in Indiana, in the school district. The other son played the trumpet, and he was member of the band. Let's see, he was well, he played in
in the school band here when he was growing up?
Well, yes, when he was growing up. But he played in the casino bands and the show bands. And then he spent about 4 years on the road and playing with numerous bands.
How many concerts did you do a year with the Carlisle band? Did you do one or two?
Oh, we did about 5 or 6, something like that.
And I'm sure they were well attended. Do you remember any concerts in particular that you found more memorable than others? It was always a joy to practice and to play, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you had some good memories of all of the times that you performed. Who were some of the members in the band?
Well, there was Marshall Sutton on trombone. There was Charlie Bender, Paul Schaefer,
When did Dale Remley join the band?
After he retired, and he come back from
He was in New York, wasn't he?
yes. He came back.
And George Gardner.
Yeah.
What instrument did George play?
Clarinet.
Tell us about your grandson.
Well, he was in the band. He played in the Boiling Springs band, high school, and he's now in the Marine Corps band. That is the post band. He's not in the President's Own because they have to have a college education to get into that. So he's at right now he's at Fort or Camp Lejeune. So
How long has he been in the Marine Corps band?
oh, he's only been in there 2 years.
Did he graduate from high school here in Carlisle?
No, he graduated in Boiling Springs.
And let's put his name on the tape. Can you give us his name?
Oh, Anson Reinard.
And he's going to make a career of music.
Well, I don't know that.
He seems to enjoy it very much, you
He
told me.
likes, yeah, he likes it. Now he might make a career of it, and he might not.
And how did he take up with, was it your encouragement for him when he started to play? It was clarinet, right?
Yes,
I'm sure you taught him from when he was a little fellow.
yes, I did. And
What about other members of the band? Can you remember some of the times when you would have concerts and on several occasions you were mentioning that you had such great fun every time the band played because everybody was doing it for the joy of it?
well, that's true. I don't remember.
Was it a marching band? Did you ever do any marching band?
Oh, yeah.
Any of the parades?
Yeah, they marched in parades.
And the 4th of July, did you have band concerts in the park?
Not in the park. There was well, you would go to the no, I don't remember them anymore.
Well, when you stayed with the typesetting for 40 years, didn't you say?
Yeah.
And then you played in the band, and what else did you do besides raising a family? And did you have other interests, things that went on in Carlisle that you enjoyed besides the band?
Well, I was in the Masonic lodges. But
what else comes to your mind, if anything? Bill, we could, if you wanted us to come back, okay. You can't remember any of the other members of the band?
no,
Did you go to band practice this last week?
no,
Are you playing at all anymore?
no.
George, can you recall anything that we can?
I could talk a little bit.
Tell us about Smitty.
He was a band director, and actually he was my stepfather. And
Was he a native of Carlisle?
yes,
What was his full name? Do you remember?
Clarence M. Smith.
And he was a native of Carlisle.
Mhm.
And was he in the band?
He was organizer,
Mm-hmm.
band director.
For a long time?
Oh yes, for a long time.
Would you like? Do you want to talk about Matt first, or do you want to talk about Smitty? Well, let's start with your grandson Matt, because that will follow on with your other grandson who's in the Marine Corps.
Yeah. Well, Matt is, he was busy and with his working.
Where was he working?
He was working at the Bon Ton.
Here in town.
Here in town, yes. And he's going to Lebanon Valley as well.
Is he majoring in music?
No, he's majoring in actuary, whatever that is.
And what about his musical sidelines? That he's what instrument does he play?
He played clarinet too. So.
And does he ever play with the band here?
Oh yeah, he played with the band.
Well, that might lead us into Smitty. What are your memories of Smitty? He was the head of the band for many, many years, wasn't he?
Yes.
When do you...
Well, it was the 8th Regiment Band. And when they came back from wherever they went in as a whole, as a band.
Mm-hmm.
So he was
when did he become the head of the band?
well, when they couldn't get a director, they went at one time we had Henry Nelson was the band director, and then we had Henry Remsburg as the band director, and they gave it up then Smitty would take over.
And he also had a music and appliance store?
Yes, he had an appliance store.
In downtown Carlisle?
Mm-hmm.
Down on South Hanover?
Yes, South Hanover Street.
And did he give music lessons?
I don't recall that.
But he had that business quite a while, didn't
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you need me to get your phone?
Mm-mm. No, I don't get that anymore. I let the machine get it.
Okay.
And
Let's see where you're on pause. Information about Smitty and what instrument he played.
well, his main instrument was trumpet. And then he switched over to clarinet. And he played clarinet in the band.
Before he was the leader of the band?
Yeah.
And what are your fondest memories of working with him in the band? Do you have some memories that were special to you? You had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
Could you tell us about the band building?
That was built in 1948. That was by the main instigator of getting that building was Harry Barnhart. And he got
what year was, or what period was that when he acquired the building?
48.
And that's on East South
Street.
And had there been a business in there before? How were you able to secure the band room?
It was a vacant lot.
And then funds were made available to build?
Yeah, he got the.
This is Barnhart.
Yeah, Harry Barnhart got funds to eventually get the
secure the building.
The building.
Get the.
Yeah.
And was it a large building? Is it still standing? You're still using it, aren't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when was that? When they started to build the new band house?
1948.
And you've been there ever since?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember Dale, well, we mentioned Dale. Do you recall anybody else, a little more about Smitty or Mr. Barnhart? Can you think of anything else?
Well,
The band maintains it.
Is the band a corporation itself?
Yes.
In order to own the building.
Yeah.
And how do you secure funds for maintenance? Does that come from concerts that you give?
Well, no. That has
Can't recall.
Uh,
Part of the Masonic, you remember the Masonic Lodge here?
yes.
And how many years were you active with the lodge?
I don't remember.
You're not going to any meetings now?
No.
But you have a daughter who lives here.
Yes.
And does one of your sons live here?
No.
Both boys are elsewhere.
Yeah.
How many grandchildren do you have? The 2 grandsons?
No. I have 17.
Wonderful. And some living here in Carlisle?
No.
No one.
Just the 2 grandsons.
Is there anything else you can think of about living here in Carlisle and being so active in many different affairs and committees and groups and band? Do you have anything else you can relate for us? A fond memory that you have of living in Carlisle?
No, I don't think so.
You think we've covered everything?
I think you've covered just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have given you.
We have experiences we wouldn't have had if you hadn't talked with us. And I didn't know, you see, I didn't know that George had played in the band. That's how little I know. Do you have anything, George?
No, I think this has been very interesting. I've learned a few things that I never knew about the band, and I appreciate knowing that. Yes, thank you very much, Bill.
And you said you'd give it your best shot, and you did.
Okay.
He and I had a nice little chat about, what, last week sometime.
Yeah.
And I came by to visit. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you could think of, or are you pretty well done?
I'm pretty well done.
You're pretty well done. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for the very interesting session here, Bill.
That is just wonderful. We appreciate it.